Ever wondered how your bad habits are affecting your life? And what can you do to change them? Let's start by understanding what we're dealing with here. Bad habits, as we all know, are those pesky little routines that seem to sneak into our daily lives, almost unnoticed. They might seem insignificant on the surface, but when you dig a little deeper, you'll find they have a profound impact on both our personal and professional lives. Imagine for a moment, you're a ship. You're sailing smoothly, charting your own course. But then, unnoticed, a small leak appears in the hull. It's just a trickle at first, easy to ignore. But over time, that trickle can turn into a torrent, threatening to sink the ship. That's what bad habits are like. They're the leaks in our lives, slowly draining us of our potential, our energy, and our time. Now let's talk about the impact. On a personal level, bad habits can affect our health, our relationships, and our overall well-being. They can create a cycle of negative self-talk, where we berate ourselves for falling into the same old patterns. This can lead to a decrease in self-esteem and self-confidence, making us feel stuck in a rut. On a professional level, bad habits can limit our growth and potential. They can affect our productivity, our work relationships, and our career trajectory. They can keep us from reaching our full potential, holding us back from the success we're capable of achieving. But here's the good news. Recognizing and acknowledging these habits is the first step towards change. It's about shining a light on those dark corners of our lives, those areas we'd rather ignore. It's about saying, yes, this is a problem, yes, I want to change. It's about taking that first, brave step towards a better future. So let's ask ourselves, are we ready to face our bad habits? Are we ready to acknowledge them, to confront them, and to start making changes? Because that's where the journey begins. That's where we start to reclaim control of our lives. Remember, the first step to change is acknowledging the problem. So, have you identified your bad habits yet? Now that we understand the impact of bad habits, it's time to recognize them in our daily lives. We all have habits, routines that we perform almost without thinking, but not all habits are created equal. Some can be beneficial, like brushing our teeth every morning and night, while others can be destructive, like excessive drinking or overeating. The first step to breaking these bad habits is acknowledging their existence. So, how do we identify these unwanted routines? Well, here's a clue. Bad habits often provide an immediate reward, but at a long-term cost. For instance, smoking might help someone feel relaxed in the moment, but over time it can lead to serious health issues. Another sign of a bad habit is if it's something you feel you need to hide, or if it's causing you guilt or discomfort. Maybe it's constantly checking your phone during family meals, or procrastinating on important tasks. If it's something you wouldn't want plastered on a billboard for everyone to see, it's probably a habit worth reevaluating. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about being aware. We all have habits we'd like to change. And it's okay to admit that. It's okay to say, yes, I have this habit and it's not serving me well. The key here is introspection. Take some time to reflect on your routines. What actions are you taking on autopilot? What are you doing that's causing you distress or discomfort? What habits are hindering your progress or well-being? These are the questions you need to ask yourself. And let's be clear, this isn't a process of self-blame or self-shame. It's about understanding ourselves better. It's about recognizing patterns that are no longer serving us and being ready to let them go. Honesty is key when recognizing bad habits. Be open, be honest, and most importantly, be ready for change. So, you've recognized your bad habits, but what causes them in the first place? Diving deeper, we'll realize that it's not as simple as it seems. Bad habits are often born out of a complex blend of psychological and environmental factors. It's like a puzzle with many different pieces that fit together to create a bigger picture. Let's start with the psychological factors. Our brains are hardwired to seek out immediate rewards. This is a survival mechanism that dates back to our ancestors. When we do something that feels good, like eating a chocolate bar or scrolling through social media, our brain releases a chemical called dopamine. This gives us a sense of pleasure and satisfaction, which makes us want to repeat the behavior. Over time, this can lead to the formation of a habit. Another psychological factor is stress. When we're stressed, we often turn to habits that provide temporary relief, like smoking or binge eating. These habits might make us feel better in the short term, but they can have serious long-term consequences for our health and well-being. Now let's talk about environmental factors. Our surroundings can also play a big role in shaping our habits. For instance, if you live in an environment where everyone around you smokes, you might be more likely to pick up the habit. Similarly, if you're constantly surrounded by unhealthy food options, it can be difficult to maintain a balanced diet. Understanding these factors is crucial because it can help us break the cycle. Once we know why we're engaging in a certain behavior, we can start to take steps to change it. This might involve altering our environment, finding healthier ways to cope with stress, or seeking professional help. Remember, it's not about blaming ourselves or feeling guilty. It's about gaining a deeper understanding of our actions and using this knowledge to empower ourselves. Understanding the root cause of your bad habits is like knowing your enemy. And as they say, knowing your enemy is half the battle won. Now, let's talk about how to quit your bad habits. Here are some quick and effective strategies. Firstly, it's essential to replace your bad habits with good ones. You see, habits are like placeholders in our daily routine. When you remove a bad habit, you leave a gap that can be filled with boredom, discomfort, or restlessness. That's why you need to fill that space with a positive habit. For instance, if you're trying to quit smoking, you could replace the habit of reaching for a cigarette with taking a brisk walk or sipping a cup of herbal tea. The key here is to find a good habit that gives you the same sense of satisfaction or relief that your bad habit once did. Next, let's talk about setting clear and achievable goals. It's not enough to say, "I want to quit smoking." You need to be more specific. How about, "I will not smoke a single cigarette for the next 7 days." Once you've achieved that, you can extend it to 14 days, then a month, and so on. Breaking down your goals into smaller, manageable tasks makes the process less daunting and more achievable. Then, there's the strategy of seeking support from friends and family. You don't have to go through this journey alone. In fact, having a support system in place can significantly increase your chances of success. Let your loved ones know about your goals and ask them for their support. Remember, it's okay to lean on others when you need to. They can provide you with the motivation and encouragement you need, especially during those tough days when you feel like giving up. Now, let's move on to practicing mindfulness. This might sound a bit abstract, but it's really about being present in the moment and being aware of your thoughts, feelings, and actions. When you're mindful, you're more likely to recognize the triggers that lead to your bad habits, and you can then consciously choose to respond differently. For example, if stress makes you reach for junk food, being mindful can help you recognize this trigger and choose a healthier coping mechanism, like going for a run or practicing yoga. Lastly, remember that consistency is key. Breaking bad habits isn't a one-time event. It's a continuous process that requires daily effort, so don't be disheartened if you don't see immediate results. Instead, focus on the small victories and progress you're making each day. Before we wrap up, it's important to note that setbacks are a normal part of the process. If you slip up, don't beat yourself up. Instead, see it as a learning opportunity. Ask yourself what led to the setback and how you can avoid it in the future. Then dust yourself off and get back on track. Remember, quitting bad habits is a journey, not a destination. Keep going and don't be discouraged by setbacks. Great job on taking the first steps to quit your bad habits. But how can you ensure this change lasts? Well, that's where the real challenge begins, isn't it? It's one thing to decide to change, but it's another to actually stick with that change. To maintain the change, consistency and perseverance are key. You've got to keep going, even when the going gets tough. Let's start with consistency. It's like brushing your teeth. You do it every day, not just when you feel like it. That's how habits work. They become a part of your routine. So make your new, healthier habits a part of your daily routine. Do it every day, even if you don't feel like it. That's how you build consistency. Perseverance, on the other hand, is about pushing through the tough times. There will be days when you'll want to go back to your old ways. That's normal. But remember why you decided to change in the first place. Hold on to that reason. Let it motivate you to keep going. Now let's talk about some strategies to maintain the change. First, reward yourself. Celebrate your small victories. Did you go a day without giving in to your bad habit? Great. Reward yourself. It could be something as simple as a pat on the back or a treat. It's a way to reinforce your new behavior. Second, track your progress. Keep a journal, write down your successes. Seeing your progress in black and white can be incredibly motivating. It's a reminder of how far you've come and a motivation to keep going. Staying motivated is crucial. Find what drives you and hold on to it. Maybe it's a healthier future or setting a good example for your children. Whatever it is, let it fuel your determination to stay on track. Change is hard, but maintaining it is harder. Stay consistent, stay motivated, and remember, you're stronger than your bad habits. Quitting bad habits is more than just breaking a cycle. It's about taking control of your life. And with that, we've come full circle in our journey to understand and conquer bad habits. Let's take a moment to reflect on the key insights we've gathered along the way. We started by acknowledging the profound impact of bad habits. These seemingly insignificant actions repeated over time can shape our lives in ways we seldom realize. They can hinder our growth, affect our health, and even define our identity. Recognizing these habits then becomes the first step in our journey towards change. From recognition, we moved on to understanding the root cause of these habits. Our habits are not random. They are responses to particular cues in our environment, driven by the desire for specific rewards. This understanding allows us to see our habits not as inherent flaws but as learned responses, things that can be unlearned and replaced. We then delved into effective strategies to break these habits. It's not enough to want to change. We need a plan. From replacing bad habits with good ones, to changing our environment, to seeking professional help. We explored a range of strategies, each offering a unique path to the same goal: change. But the journey doesn't end with breaking the habit. We must also maintain the change, nurture the new habits until they become second nature. This requires patience, persistence, and a healthy dose of self-compassion. We will falter, we will stumble, but it's important to remember that progress is not linear. Each setback is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to come back stronger. So here we are, at the end of our journey, standing at the precipice of change. And what a powerful force change can be. It's not just about breaking a cycle or replacing one action with another. It's about taking control of your life, shaping your future, and becoming the person you want to be. Change can be daunting, but it's also liberating. It's an opportunity to start anew, to let go of the past and embrace a brighter future. It's a testament to our resilience, our adaptability, and our capacity for growth. The power of change lies not just in the tangible benefits, improved health, increased productivity, enhanced self-esteem, but also in the intangible ones. It instills in us a sense of accomplishment, boosts our confidence, and empowers us to take on bigger challenges. It reminds us that we are not defined by our past actions, but by our present choices and future aspirations. So, are you ready to quit your bad habits today? Remember, the only thing standing between you and your best self is your bad habits. Take control, make the change, and embrace a better you.